So Will's in town. He was working in Thailand with the Essilor trip. We were in Andhra Pradesh, India for the trip that I was on. So I haven't really gotten time to speak with him and compare and contrast and, you know, take back what we both learned. So I'm looking forward to that today. Got the film camera going, baby. How are you?
Good.
It's new.
It's an awesome car. You can't explain the experience that you have because everyone asks you, how was your mission trip? What'd you do?
And what did you
You
just
try to
shake your
explain
head?
it and you're just like, unless you're going and seeing it firsthand and like interacting with those kids, you can't explain it to somebody. I feel like I have a soul tie to those people that we traveled with. It's weird. You just spend 10 days with somebody and then you're like, oh, you're my best friend for life now.
Right?
Yeah.
Soul tie. I think that's the right word. Essilor Difference Makers is trying to inspire more of that, like what you're doing with Love Eyes, right? And so like if that's a vehicle to help people start more stuff like that, I'm on board, you know?
Yeah.
So how many days were you on the road for?
I mean, the total trip I think was like 10 to 12 days.
Okay, yeah.
How long were you there?
I think like 10 or 11 days. But I probably saw maybe 300 or 400 patients. I think back to like externships where I used to have to log all of the amount of patients I saw. And it's like 3 months I saw that many in 3 days.
Yeah, it didn't feel like that when you were in the moment. We would get to the end of the day and they'd be like, what's our patient count for today? Oh, it was 900 patients. And you're just like,
What?
really? It was only like a half a day too. We'd go till like lunchtime and then we'd be done.
Yep.
So it was crazy.
Yep. So is this the first trip you've done?
This was the first international missions trip I'd ever done, yeah.
I remember in optometry school, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be I was like a VOSH member. I never went on any trips or
Yeah.
like, I was all about it, but I actually never did anything. So for me, it was, I like finally had to just surrender any sort of argument and go. And now I'll go probably every year.
It's really hard when you're, you know, a business owner and somebody says, hey, you wanna take 10 to 12 days out
Yeah.
of your practice and go to the other side of the world? And it's
Yeah.
like, no.
You can't.
But it turned out it was kind of almost the vacation that I needed, the time away that I needed to clear my head and
Right.
come back maybe a little bit more focused.
You worked really hard, but it still felt probably like super cleansing,
Oh yeah,
you know?
it was the easiest hard work I'd ever done.
The first day I was like so slammed, I did not understand like what the hell just happened to me.
Yeah, kind of just giving up control and being like, man, we're here to help people see better.
Did you have a way to refer out or like make notes to get them to the right
Yeah,
people, of
and
course, right?
Of course, there were we were seeing all kids in schools.
Okay.
And so we definitely saw some kids that needed referrals out. You know, Essilor coordinated all that. They have such good relationships there in Thailand. It was pretty common most days that we were there to see kids that were minus 12, never worn glasses before in their lives. And, you know, they're probably 7th, 8th graders, something like that. So
Right.
those were the kids that you felt like you had the most impact on.
Yeah, I remember seeing just a couple like esotropes.
Yeah.
Throw on some pluses and it's like, you just change their whole life.
Yeah. One of the cool things about the trip to Thailand, though, is that there's actually an optometry school in Bangkok. So Essilor partners with that optometry school, and all of those students were there, and they were helping us too.
Oh, wow.
That was huge because some of them spoke some English, so that helped with translating. And
Sure.
They had all their equipment there. I mean, I felt like I was back in optometry school. They had their little rolling bag kits and their white coats.
Yes.
And they were pumped to be doing some eye exams.
Yeah, and being able to bring the skill set and teach new things to the population so they can do that in country and amongst themselves without needing foreign help is like really critical.
Oh yeah.
You know, so it's nice to see that.
One cool thing about the optometry students there was that I learned, since it was my first international missions, I learned that optometry is universal. So while there was like a language barrier, when it came time taking care of patients and doing refractions, it was like everybody spoke the same language. We were all doing the same thing.
It's basic optics.
Yeah.
So why now do you want to do a trip every year? What's the main calling for that?
I think that it's the way that it recharges you.
I feel like it gives you just a look into almost just a different dimension of life that I didn't know existed. Why do you think it is that practice owners don't invest in stuff like this or don't give back? I mean, you know, like you have programs like what Essilor is doing that make it easy.
I think because a lot of times as a practice owner, you're very ROI focused. A mission trip to India or Thailand, like that has no return on investment for my practice. In fact, we probably lost a bunch of money with me being gone. But you're right, like I think that if more people wanted to do it, the resources are out there to make it very affordable and logistically possible. People need to pursue it.
And I feel like maybe it's just being a millennial, but I almost don't want to do business with companies that are not doing something philanthropic. It's like today as a consumer, you have a choice on who to do business with. I'd rather do business with someone that's giving back to the community in some way. You know, you see companies that are doing this, like Patagonia is a great example, I think, of a company that's really supporting the environment through their products and stuff. So support iCare through the products as well.
Doctors, they look at Essilor or Luxottica and they think they're just this big company, and sometimes that even brings up some negative thoughts about them, but they're really eradicating bad vision worldwide. They're out there everywhere. They're in Thailand, they're in Bhutan. Domestically, they have their Changing Life Through Lenses program, which I actually participate in. Love iCare. Started it back in 2014 when I graduated from optometry school. People come in, they get eye exams for free, get the glasses for free. The most common people that we see come through the program are a lot of single moms and then a ton of kids. But like the goal is to create a model where private practice optometry can start these freestanding no-cost clinics in their communities. It's as simple as you go onto the website, you put in your practice information, they send you a kit of about 40 frames.
Whoa.
They'll do all the lab work for free. The lenses are all done at Essilor Labs, no cost. And all you have to do is kind of explain what you're doing in your community that you would need the lenses for.
So basically anyone can start a program like what you have and get that ROI.
Anybody in a practice of any sort who wants to give back to their community and looks at the materials part of it as a barrier, because that is a large cost if you're doing it on your own, they can apply for this program. Essilor covers all the costs. And you don't have to spend a bunch of money out of pocket. Basically, all you've got to do at that point is just give your time and your services, see patients. Essilor takes care of the glasses. It's pretty cool.
The business of optometry is changing, the landscape's changing, but it still feels like the intentions are pure and are good. Like Essilor is enabling us to be able to give back, but now it's up to the ODs to do it. I think students need to be aware, and even new graduates, like bake this into your future in some way, somehow, even if it's only one trip or one type of thing. Like if you've never done it, you haven't like experienced life in reality, so bake it into your future plans, you know? Yeah, like it's jet lag, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
You'll be a little bit in a third world place, it's not that bad, you'll be okay.
Your practice will survive without you.
You might get a stomach ache, like there's Pepto-Bismol for that, you'll be fine. So I guess there's really not too many like reasons to say no, unless you just, it's not your thing.
Yeah, and some people it's not. If you go with a reputable group, go with a good group of doctors, like you're gonna feel safe at all times. Just that camaraderie that you have with your colleagues it's pretty powerful. Like we all just have this bank of energy that we can give to anything in our life. And it's like, this is a world we live in, just accept it. And instead of getting pissed off, like use the resources that are out there and go to Thailand and help people. You go on a mission trip, you help people in your community, and it's like, this is exactly what I want to do. I just need to tune out the rest of the noise.